Support comes from the Janice Hawkins Cultural Arts Park on the main campus of Troy University, featuring the International Arts Center, the Fred Nall Hollis Museum, and the Huabaoju Gallery. More information at troy.edu/artspark.
From Troy Public Radio, this is In Focus, and I'm Carolyn Hutchison. If you're a fan of StoryCorps, Dave Isay, its founder, visits today with news. His new project, Connect250, is a nationwide storytelling initiative. It invites listeners to create a living time capsule of who we are as Americans. By the way, we found out that Dave has family living in Alabama. Dave, it is a true honor to have you join us here at In Focus on Troy Public Radio.
Well, the honor is mine. That's very lovely of you to say. Thank you.
Dave, we learned that you have family ties to Alabama. What are they?
I do. So once upon a time, my uncle lived in Montgomery, and he ran the Gayfers there, if you remember Gayfers.
Of course.
And then he moved to Opelika. So I have family in Opelika.
Well, this is great because Opelika is one of our strong coverage areas as well.
Love Opelika. Love Opelika.
Well, Dave, StoryCorps is so popular all over the United States, but you have a brand new project. What is it?
Yes, we do. It's in honor of America's 250th, not in conjunction with any of the political things that are happening. And that's partly why we wanted to do this. This came from being frustrated with some of what was happening in the country, that it was too partisan. And we wanted to do something that was for the people and created something called Connect250. It's basically creating a time capsule of American voices for history. All of them go to the Library of Congress, kind of a Hey America, Meet America project. We are building, as I speak, a special platform that makes it possible for strangers across America to have 40-minute StoryCorps conversations with each other. It's very easy. You get walked through it. You get brought into the portal by none other than Steve Inskeep, and you have this meaningful 40-minute conversation with someone who you've never met before. And that all goes to the Library of Congress. So hopefully someday our great-great-great-grandkids on the 350th anniversary can get to know who we really are as Americans on the 250th.
So it's really a time capsule, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It's a time capsule of wisdom, of stories, of voices, of authentic Americans talking to each other. No politics, just like passing wisdom between each other.
So this is also in conjunction with Morning Edition. How does that work?
Yes. So we're getting the word out. Our partner is Morning Edition, and we're getting the word out through Morning Edition and through public radio stations like Troy Public Radio across the country, and inviting people to have these conversations. I've been in public radio for longer than you've been alive.
I doubt that.
And, I care a lot about public radio, and this idea was one of those. StoryCorps has beautiful ideas, and sometimes those beautiful ideas are a little last minute. And we love Morning Edition, so we decided to do this with Morning Edition. I went to NPR, talked to everybody from the president, CEO on down to the executive producer of Morning Edition and other people, and Steve Inskeep and all the voices that you know, and everybody was like, yeah, let's go for it. So it's kind of a crazy idea, but it's very American because Americans have crazy ideas, and it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And I know, it may sound a little bit intimidating to sign up. And I should say the sign up it's connect250.org. Connect the number 250.org. You go there, you sign up. That pre-registers you for July 7th. And on July 7th, when we'll have finished building the portal on July 6th, on July 7th, it opens up. And you take about 4 minutes to register on the portal. You write a little bio about who you are, and then your bio and your first name only and where you live becomes public to the people who are in the portal. You see other people's bios and their first name and where they live, and you pick 1 or 2 or 3 people, and you're connected with them. Then you set a time and you meet on this sort of Zoom-like portal, and you have this conversation with the StoryCorps questions streaming underneath your pictures, so you can have a deep and intimate conversation with someone who you've never met before.
Get ready to meet America. How do the folks get connected with each other?
So once the portal opens up on July 7th. Again, you have a bio that you fill out, a little bio. You listen to Americans every day. It's beautiful to read, like, who we are as Americans. And basically, you are given a slate of first names and bios, and you read through the bios and you say, I want to talk to this person. And you hit their name on your computer, and they get an email saying someone's chosen you. And then you and that other person figure out a time over a chat, a private chat. Everything's private, everything's secure. So you say, hey, can you meet tomorrow night at 7 o'clock to do this interview? And the other person says, yeah, sure. And then you're given an email that tells you it's about to come up, and then an email 5 minutes before it's going to happen. And you sign on and you see this person and you're off to the races.
Your project partner is the American Library Association. And I just want to briefly go back to 2003 when you started StoryCorps. What did you have in mind when you started it all?
Yes, the American Library Association is a partner, and all the interviews go to the Library of Congress, the National Library, and they'll live there forever. I was talking to the person who founded StoryCorps with me 23 years ago, and he reminded me that he had asked me, like, why do you want to do this? And I used to make radio programs and radio documentaries, and I said to him, I want everybody to have the experience I had of getting to hold up a microphone and talk to a stranger and, like, learn about their lives. And that's what StoryCorps is all about. It's about giving us a chance to connect authentically with another person and be reminded of what it means to be alive. It's about capturing wisdom. It's about passing your story from one generation to the next. But most of all, it's about focusing on another person in a conversation. The first book that StoryCorps put out was called Listening is an Act of Love. And I think what it really is about love. In this case, love for our country. In other cases, love for your grandma, your grandpa, whoever it is you're interviewing. But it's really about human connection and listening.
The unique thing about StoryCorps and your new project, Connect250, talking about voices. Dave, think about it. So many people have family pictures. How many people have voices preserved? This is what you're doing.
Yeah. I mean, to me, the soul is kind of contained in the voice. The voice is so powerful. It's almost like when you're in your car, as so many people are when they listen to your show, Carolyn, and you have someone talking through the radio, it's almost like they're whispering in your ear. There's something so visceral about the human voice. The soul is contained in the human voice. And when you hear a story authentically told, when you hear someone being real and not talking nonsense, but just being authentic with you, it's like an adrenaline shot right to the heart. It's just thrilling. And that's what we hope to have happen over and over again with Connect250.org. Nothing would make me happier than having Montgomery and Troy and Opelika and all the towns in Alabama play a big role in this celebration of American voices.
The Library of Congress, the American Folklife Center, is the repository for StoryCorps. Now, how about Connect250?
Same thing. Every interview that you participate in goes to the Library of Congress. So even though you're not talking to your mom, you're talking to a stranger, your great, 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 great grandkids will get to know you through your story that you tell when you go onto this platform, Connect250. It all goes to the Library of Congress. But when you do this, I promise you, if you've listened to StoryCorps and you trust StoryCorps, you're going to have an incredibly meaningful experience when you do this, when you take the time to honor another person by listening to their story, and they honor you by listening to yours.
And thankfully, you're giving them the time, 40 minutes, to tell the full story.
40 minutes has worked for StoryCorps. Like you said, we've had about 750,000 participants. And if we do this Connect250 right, we'll have a lot more than that. So again, I hope people will sign up at Connect250.org. I promise you won't regret it.
Dave, it has been, again, a true honor to bring you to the Troy Public Radio airwaves in Alabama, Georgia, and Florida. Thank you for taking time to visit with your listeners here.
Thank you, Carolyn. Like I said, the pleasure's all mine. I really appreciate you. Felt like coming home.
That was Dave Isay, founder of StoryCorps and its new project, Connect250, in honor of America's 250th birthday. If you would like to participate, visit Connect250.org to find out how you can be part of this living time capsule. Thanks for joining us for In Focus, which is a podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Carolyn Hutchison, and this is listener-supported Troy Public Radio.